Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 12 of Roll20 Presents Elf Having a Freak Attack.
Listen, you gotta be excited.
I am excited, and I'm excited that you're excited.
You gotta be excited.
That's good. It's good to fail your saving throw against hype.
I always do.
Well,
Every time.
It's so
Every
good.
week.
It's so good to see all of you again. Elf, your tweet yesterday made me sad about.
Oh. I made myself sad because I literally was looking through the VODs like on YouTube and just watching sort of like, okay, this is how I did my character last week. I want to be consistent. So this is how I talked and this is what I did kind of thing. And then going from part 1 to part 2, the one in like the next up was 10, not 11. And I clicked it and I was like, my heart.
Streaming role-playing games, the only time you're going to have to relive your own death over and over.
Yeah.
Anytime you want, just go ahead and watch yourself die.
Watch myself die. Listening to myself complain about being at level 1 is heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, it's a hard time, but that's okay. You're on your way. Your new character is tough, and I believe that
Anastasia will survive.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
She's hardcore.
She'll probably make it at least one session.
Yeah. Listen, she speaks Infernal. Okay.
Speaking of hardcore, can we talk about fan fiction, Blue Jay?
Whoa. No. Oh, yeah, please. I'll talk about it if you want.
Yeah, because if you own somebody,
I might have just taken the opportunity from my character not being in continuity anymore, Saris, to decide to write what I thought would happen after she died.
It was so cute.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm very happy about that. I think we talked about, you and I talked about this a little bit, but one of the best things about GMing really any role playing game is when the players get really into their characters or into like the game and start doing things like that, where they're like between sessions, it's like, yeah, cool. I've been thinking about the game. That's one thing, but another to be like, yeah, I wrote this short story about how I didn't actually die, and something much cooler happened.
I mean, there was an open-endedness to the fan fiction, whereas your death is so final. Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I feel like one of the cool things for me about role-playing games is that you're stimulating creativity in ways that don't necessarily have to be just during the role play. Like I've drawn more and like just written stuff. I just think it's cool.
I've literally been going, what could I use as costume if it ever came up, and like going through my whole wardrobe of various LARP things. But yes, if you haven't read the fan fiction, it's on Blue Jay's Discord.
God damn it! Why?
On the writing share part, I have to say, because it's like Zahiri Saris like payoff. You know.
It is.
I can't.
We were both like, we had discussed when I was drunk.
We did, yeah.
That if the moment came up, that we would do those characters.
We were at TwitchCon going, yeah, I think there's a thing there, you know, and like we gotta explore that.
And then they died.
And then we died. Yeah.
The second you get attached, right?
Yeah.
Never fall in love in a dungeon.
Never fall in love.
I think it's probably my second favorite fan fiction I've ever read. Right after Dave's horrible vampire Shadowrun fan fiction. Yeah. Dave, can you speak? I saw you being anxious about your ability to speak, and maybe that you couldn't anymore. Can you say something for us, Dave?
What?
There you go.
Yeah, you're good.
I like your wizard robe that you have on today, Dave. It's good. It looks very comfy.
Blanket arms. It's pretty cold here.
Yeah.
And I can't have like the radiator and stuff on because it makes the electricity in my room go weird. So.
Whoa. England got more post-apocalyptic faster than I expected.
Yeah.
Are there marauders roving the streets yet, and do you need help?
I mean, there was, but then I took my like self-crafted pipe action rifle and shot them all.
Good work. Well, if there's a post-apocalypse in America, we know where to send people to be protected.
Snuggyland?
Yeah.
I'm imagining
Snuggy.
like Mad Max convoy involving that stupid Brexit bus.
Oh God.
Fantastic. And Andrew, I've seen you more recently than these other nerds. How's
Yeah,
being
that was nice.
how's being a fledgling game designer going for you?
Well,
Have you finished designing your game since the last time we spoke?
no, shut up, go away.
No, shut up, go away.
Game design only takes a period of days. What, 3 days should be planned.
My room is a disaster. My life is also a disaster. So yeah, being a fledgling game designer is great. Everything goes to pieces.
You heard it here, folks. Don't design games. It will drive you insane and ruin your life. Speaking from experience.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, totally reasonable. It's almost as bad as having to QA games.
That's not fun. I've done that.
So while we may not have control, over our real lives, we do have some semblance of control over our fictional lives. Why don't we submerge ourselves in those? Let's go
Except
to
when
that.
we die.
Let's go to that place for a while.
Can we wait like 2 minutes because I want to read this fan fiction?
Yes.
It's like,
Blue Jay, give us a dramatic reading. Like,
No, we're not gonna make Blue Jay read the fanfiction in front of the class. It's okay. People can read it themselves.
so good.
It's totally okay.
it's fine. It's like not even sexy. It's just emotional. Like
Yeah, but
Look.
that's even better.
I love that.
Premium content subscribers will have access to a video of Bridgie and Elf reading the thing.
I mean, like technically, you don't even have to subscribe though. Like I'm not an asshole, and my Discord is not sub only.
Yeah,
do-
that's true.
I do like the idea of supplemental content though. If y'all want to go ahead and do that's totally
Right,
okay.
we'll make a Roll20 sub only Discord where we'll put all of our new fan fiction and
Yes.
you can't read it unless you sub.
Yeah.
Dramatic readings.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Videos of us reading fanfiction from the games.
It's available today in the Roll20 marketplace. Audio clips of us reading things in character.
Yes.
How, before we start though, Blue Jay, I wanted to ask you. So last session, I think surprised everybody by busting out your Oscar award-winning Drow accent.
God damn it.
How?
Why is it all about me today?
Because you're killing it. Because you're ahead of the class right now. What? How is that? How's that going for you? Did you enjoy that, doing the voice? Were you having like the fear before you did it?
I mean, it was more like I was afraid that one, having the accent and trying not to flub up the accent was gonna take me out of my own character. And I was afraid that having an accent that might not necessarily be like super accurate. Yes, accurate.
That's how you say it in Drow. It's fine.
Yeah. Might flub up other people's enjoyment of it if they were, I don't know, usual RP speakers. So but it ended up being all right. I know that I'm not perfect, but like someone was saying, like it's not a RP accent, it's a Drow accent. So you can do whatever the hell you want and it's fine. But everyone freaked out, especially Tom. Like
I know. As soon as you did it, I was like, "Shit! I need to step my game up."
I mean, that's like the only accent I know.
Immediately, I was like, "I should have gone for the French accent."
I'm pretty into dark elf Mary Poppins. It's really good.
Dark Elf
Great.
Mary
It
Poppins.
signals to me very clearly that you think of all British people as like inherently evil characters. So,
Well, I mean, they are the villains in every movie.
Isn't there a Jaguar commercial about that?
yeah,
There totally is.
Look, Dave, it's just the rest of the world views England as underground dwelling, spider worshipping assholes.
Yeah.
Traditionally, these are the things that are associated with the English. Speaking as a person who, I guess, technically is still ruled by their Lolth priestess.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I mean, we're not speaking ill of our dark elf queen.
Has anyone ever seen the Queen's legs?
Oh right, yeah, they could be giant spider legs. I don't think I've ever seen the queen except from the. Actually, I've only seen her head mostly because it's on our money.
Exactly.
What is this conversation?
I was wondering why there was a Black Widow on the nickel, but now I understand. I get it. I understand
Adam,
now.
it's a beaver, Adam.
I don't know animals. All right, look. Beavers are also venomous and build webs in the river out of wood.
Oh man.
Yep. Welcome to Mutual of
Play Dungeons
Omaha's
and
wild
Dragons,
kingdom of people who don't go outside.
Can we play D&D now?
Yeah, let's play D&D. I don't like the real world. Fictional ones are better.
I agree.
So y'all went kind of full on murder hobo last time. Hey, things got dark.
Well, I mean, you don't insult spiders in front of a drow.
Yeah, we discovered some people in the dungeon and then unpeopled them. So I think when we left off, y'all had just finished like resting, right? You set up a
We just long rested. Yeah.
set up a bunch of trap stuff and then rested, and you have a prisoner
Indeed.
who was knocked unconscious, and did you tie her up? I think you tied her up, right?
Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So so you have this tiefling, and she's now your prisoner. So you awaken from your long rest, and the tiefling, Panic, who has just had her friends murdered, is I think she's awake. She woke up at some point during the rest, but hasn't said anything unless you've tried to talk to her. But she's been pretty quiet and pretty terrified. Nothing interrupted your rest. A quick examination of the traps indicates that everything is still a-okay, so to speak. And your friend, the acolyte Kassit, has been pretty quiet. She seems to be judging you silently and wondering if maybe this is the safest place for her to be right now. But also is too nervous to go off on her own. So she's just kind of been quietly trying to make herself small, and and so you come to, and you have this member of the Thieves Guild in front of you. What do you want to do? What is the plan now?
Great. All right, everybody. So I'm not exactly thrilled about how that went. Now that we have our friend Panic here, I gather that was your name. Yes, you're conscious. I'm aware you're conscious.
Yeah. She's not pretending to be asleep or anything. She, I think she's sitting on the floor with her, her hands tied behind her back, and she just looks up at you, kind of her black eyes wide, and she just kind of nods.
Right. Well, I'm prepared to make you a deal. The deal is such. Tell me what you know about the Thieves Guild activities, and we'll untie you and allow you to leave this crypt.
Why don't you make a roll of some variety using one of the many skills that Dungeons and Dragons characters have?
Such as a.
It sounds like persuade. Yeah.
Yep.
Would anybody else like to get in on this?
I'm
this
pretty
action?
sure he doesn't need the help.
Oh,
but
damn! You sure don't. Look at you go. Okay, so with
as the scion of virtue and good in this band.
with the 24, she nods and says, I don't know much, my lord, but I'll tell you everything I can. What do you want to know?
All right. Well, since I don't know that this is ever going to be story relevant, what I am angling here for is just some details to take back to the Harpers, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because that's one of my big jams, collecting information for the group.
I listen attentively.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything story relevant particularly that I could ask her about, but it's just to get notes back.
Yeah, so I mean, Panic. It's okay because Panic isn't exactly plugged into the Welcomers, intelligence community or anything. Not that there is one, but she does tell you that her and her now dead friends, they came down here looking for treasure because they had heard that they had heard that this was a crypt that had a bunch of like expensive stuff in it. This is where they buried the rich, and they I guess they had like bribed a member of the church to give them a key to the catacombs. So they came in, and we're all set to steal a bunch of stuff, but the catacombs were like deeper and larger than they expected, and they didn't have the equipment that they needed to like really. They're basically shitty adventurers that didn't bring enough rations. And when they ran into trouble, which is to say, the room full of zombies that they promptly like shut the door on and fled. They got to arguing about whether to continue or not, and her friend, the half orc, consumed the only rations they brought with them, which is to say, a large flask of some very strong drink. And then he got drunk, and he was too drunk to like get back up the stairs. And so they ended up just like staying down here. They'd only been down a few hours before you arrived, and they were trying to decide what to do, whether to like rest here and risk being eaten in the night by scary monsters, or to try to get their drunk friend up the stairs, but he wouldn't go. And that's when they heard someone coming down the stairs quite noisily, and ran around the corner to hide.
Okay, last question. The rooms beyond, you've explored at least one further down this passage. How much further have you gotten, and what can you tell us that we're going to find? You've dealt with the zombie.
Yeah. So she tells you that there's a chamber up ahead, full of bones. It's a huge, like the room you're in now, but not just skulls, like all kinds of bones. And there's debris around. It looked like something had passed through that room recently, and that's when she got scared and just told them to turn back. You can see that she's like probably the one that was the least interested in coming down here in the first place. You get the impression that she was sort of dragged along by her friends.
All right. Well, I gave you my word. You may now leave. The stairs have been damaged by our descent, but I'm sure you'll manage to find a way up. We were in the midst of affixing a rope, so leave that there and use it to escape.
Because he is about to mention the rope before you're like, yeah, there's a rope there, and then she kind of like goes quiet again. Okay, so you untie Panic. Yeah,
and I very like pointedly don't ask for any of my companions like opinions on what's going on. Like I'm just like, yeah, this is what's happening. She's now leaving.
I'm sitting reading from a scroll of some sort, trying to look disinterested, like I couldn't care anyway. Whether she's alive or dead doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. If nobody else has any objections,
I mean, I was gonna let her go too, but fucking Lane is just too.
I was gonna let them all go before we shot them, but
Anyways.
All right. So she gathers up her stuff. Do you give her like her weapons back?
No.
Yeah.
What did you have on her?
She had like a rapier or something, right?
Yeah, she's got a couple of she's got like some knives and a sword.
Sure, I'm not worried about her as a threat at all. She's got like 1 HP. She comes back and does something stupid, we'll kill her.
Whatever. She had a long rest too. She's got full hit points now.
You're just going to.
But it's not like she picks up her weapons and just starts spinning around, dealing damage to all of you. Like,
whirlwind attack.
Yeah, there's still only one of her.
Yeah. No, that's fine. She can have them back.
Okay, so she.
I want to have them back. I want them.
Her weapons are pretty they're pretty mundane.
They're worse than yours.
You can take them if you want.
I just don't want her to have them. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Let's play that out. At what moment do you voice your concern, right? Like Lane, I assume you've kept her weapons away from her while you were all resting, so you're like going to give them back.
Yeah. So I'm just gathering them.
I guess if you move to give her all her stuff back, I'm just like, what are you doing? She doesn't need that. Don't this woman. let her leave. We've cleared the upper areas. She'll be fine. We don't need to give her the ability to kill us all in our sleep next time.
She looks at you and she shakes her head and says, "No, I wouldn't think of it. I'd feel a lot better, with my weapons on the way out. I don't know what's out there. I'm thankful." And she looks at Lane and she's like, "I'm thankful for you letting me go, but I mean, what good's my life if I can't make it out of this place?"
I don't think we can guarantee that everything's gone, can we? We checked places, but there are still...
I mean, we checked every doorway, right? Like, it was one hallway and a room.
Just give the kid a sword.
Forces at work here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you the only passageway that you didn't like fully kind of like go through was that that sort of like dumbwaiter for bodies thing that leads down into the catacombs. Yeah. So something might climb up out of there. But anyway, the point is
if
like
both Gravaris and Lane are like, no, like give her back her stuff, like it's fine, then I'll back off.
That's a good Gravaris and Lane impression. Oh, give her back her stuff.
It's fine, just do it. If they're both insistent, then I'll back off, yeah. But if it's just Dave, then I'm gonna make a stink about it. Or sorry, Lane.
All right.
Okay.
Then off you go.
Yeah, so she takes her equipment, like tightens her like belts, and
Oh, and it goes without saying, if we run into any of your friends, any of your companions in the guild as a result of this, I'm going to see that you've had a hand in it. I'm not going to be particularly impressed. You saw what happened to the rest of your friends. So
make an intimidation check.
I'm totally gonna help, and I'm just making the like thieves can't hand sign for this guy's a bastard.
Right, and not in a like undermining way, but in a like he's the kind of bastard who'll like break your arm off.
This guy is some bullshit. Don't mess with him.
Okay. Ooh, okay. All right.
Mask pitches in.
Okay.
To the tune of 3 points, putting him in a 15.
15? Okay. Cool. All right. She looks back and forth between the two of you, and then just turns and disappears into the dark. And you hear her first few footsteps in the hallway, and then she's gone. Cool. So you're alone in this room that smells of dust and ancient bones, and what do you want to do? Where to now, my friends?
This comes back to bite me in the ass. You're all going down.
Yes.
Sorry, you're now making demands after you were the one who murdered the first two. After what? What exactly was said to you? I find it hard to believe that idle banter from thieves.
Sufficient to say I was capable of murdering them, and I could do the same to you. I just don't want thieves at my back.
Oh,
well,
that's interesting.
This has gotten very hostile all of a sudden. I think perhaps we should focus on what is ahead of us and not what is between us, if you know what I mean.
Yes, we're all very cranky and stuck in this crypt. Let's move on, shall we?
Yes, good idea.
This is most unbecoming of all of you.
All right. So as you can see, like this area of the crypt just continues down deeper into the catacombs below the city. We're talking about kind of like a archway, like an arched ceiling, and sort of plain stone walls, stone steps here that lead about 30 feet ahead of you, and then there's a short landing, and it turns right and continues downward into the dungeon. As before, Kassit follows sort of nervously behind as you make your way through the halls.
While we're walking, I'm gonna take up like the back with Kassit,
Mm-hmm.
and just as we're sort of like making our way forward, ask her like, what are we expecting to find further down here? As in tombs or crypts or
Yeah, she says she says, well, the usual bones, um, dead body type stuff. The deeper we go, the older the crypts get. So, we're talking several hundred years. It's all, and she's saying this as she's walking by the like bodies just lying on the floor in the hallway. Like looks over her shoulder and she's like, it's all very interesting.
Doom Guide Landon, was it, told us that you were quite an expert on these places. Do you know the layout, at least geographically, of where we're headed? Passage left, right, forward. How far do we have to go?
Yeah, she shakes her head. She says, "I'm really more of a historian than a cartographer. I've never actually been down here. I've seen, woodcuts, but
well, just stay close. It would be distasteful if anything happened to you."
When you say distasteful, she casts one last look at the bodies coming around the corner, and she's like, yeah, I agree.
She's like small, right? Is she like a kid or
she's not a kid, but she's just like kind of demure by nature, and not a stout warrior type like you and your friends.
As with the distasteful comment, I give her kind of like the like friendly shoulder pat and like push forward.
She flinches slightly when you go to touch her. Not like out of fear, but like she just kind of like pulls away, like. Ugh.
What's a warlock gonna do in melee, really?
That's very reassuring. Don't worry, I'm a warlock. I don't have any touch attacks.
Says you.
So this is the bone zone too.
Yes. So this you've entered the bone zone. This chamber, the walls in this section are lined with burial niches containing skeletons, as in other areas of the catacombs. But as you cast your eyes around, you notice that on the floor there are bits and pieces of bone that seem to have fallen from above. Right? There's bits of like plaster and bone and stuff on the floor, and when you look up, you can see in the ceiling there's a shallow layer of sort of crumbling plaster that's been put up there. It's about, like I said, about like 8 feet or so up. Shallow layer of plaster, and in the plaster embedded are more like skeletons. So kind of like hanging from the ceiling, they're like arms dangling down, their faces kind of partially emerged from the plaster surface. You can see skeletons. It's actually kind of a macabre sight because the whole ceiling is like it's like you're under a kind of sea of skeletons sort of like reaching for you. There are places where their arms come like almost to head level, like you'd have to avoid them, but they're sort of like being under the roots of a tree, all these like skeletal arms and legs. Some of the plaster has crumbled and let like arm bones or skulls like fall to the ground where they've broken, but the room seems like still. It's not like stuff is currently like falling from the ceiling.
All right. They'd been through here and they'd been fine. Oh no, they hadn't been all the way through.
No, they
No.
stopped here and were like.
I think I say, wait a second, everybody. This looks quite dangerous. Let me see if I can feel anything in here. I'm gonna divine sense just to make sure.
Yeah. You definitely sense the presence of undead creatures within 60 feet of you. The location. Yeah, the ceiling. Several of these skeletons are magically animate, though they're waiting to spring their trap.
This is some Dark Souls ambush right here.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be the thing where you walk into the room the first time and a horrible skeleton lands on you and you die, and then you go back to the bonfire in the room before.
Yeah. So I say, yes, some of these creatures are still not alive per se. It's difficult to describe the undead. There are definitely some things above us.
Can you? I'm trying to slide sort of like nearby to where Lane is. I'm kind of at the back here. I don't know if I can sort of
Oh,
get.
there's room. It's a 10-foot wide.
There's room. Okay.
Yeah, the
Trying
areas.
to slide past Oleander to like nearby to Lane. I just go point one out if you can, and we can start this our way.
Sounds good. And I turn as well to Oleander and I say, I suppose take Anastasia's lead if we can pick them off before they get the drop on us. Literally.
Okay.
At least
no.
down here, I have your
And I'll
back.
be like, somewhere up there.
Can I like make out a target, or is it just like...
I mean, I think like Lane can, but I think if you're gonna make an attack or something, we'll do it with disadvantage because
sure.
Lane can just sense intrinsically
I
where
imagine
these things
he's kind
are.
of going like there.
Yeah,
and
he's
I'm
like one of those
following
skeletons
up
in the
there.
ceiling, and you're like, there's like dozens of them.
All right. Cool. Well, if
I'd like to
nobody
make an
else,
attack as well.
if nobody else, if nobody else has anything to do, I'm gonna make an attack on skeleton in the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah, there's one like kind of here-ish that Lane is
I
pointing
need to
in the direction of.
like sort of next to him then, because I can't see around the corner.
That's true.
All right. So Eldritch Blast, because that's what I do.
Okay.
Channeling infernal glowing tattoo Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. Little known fact: when you get actual tattoos in real life, you can cast magic. We just keep it on the DL.
Listen, okay, I just thematic. Okay.
Yeah, it's not even a D&D thing. I can cast several spells.
I
Excuse
wish.
me, let me just get my.
Oh my
Oh.
Even at disadvantage, that's amazing.
Even at disadvantage, good stuff. All right, so you got a 23. So you can pick out a target with Lane's help, and you conjure up an Eldritch Blast. Go ahead and roll your
And I
damage.
blast it for one
One
damage.
damage. Aw, one
Starting
damage.
in our way, yeah.
Okay, so you conjure the magic of your warlock power, throw the Eldritch Blast to the ceiling, and it's like someone set off like a cherry bomb in like in a plaster wall. There's just this blast of like white chalky dust flies everywhere. The sound of like bones like clattering to the floor, and you can see through the dust this like partially damaged skeleton warrior drops from the ceiling into a crouch, holding a rusty sword, and lifts up, and he's got bits of like crumbling plaster still stuck to his kind of like barnacles stuck to his bones that like kind of crumble away as it stands up, Let's roll initiative because you've awakened.
I was going to
the
try and
skeleton.
say as the Eldritch Blast is being cast, do I have a couple of seconds to cast protection from evil and good on myself?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Yeah, you can take that action for sure.
Yeah, I'll just click it just so you know. What it
Okay.
is.
So one willing creature is protected against undead.
be-
Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. Okay. So you're using it on yourself?
Yep.
All
Did
right.
you want initiatives, Adam?
Yeah, give me 1 second to clear the
Okay.
order, and then we'll roll. I just want to make sure Dave has. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and you can start him up. All right, Skeletor here. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right, so that's everybody in. Let me just put a name marker on this guy. Okay, cool. So, Lane, you are ready to go. There is a skeleton target in the room. He's dropped from the ceiling, has a sword drawn. What do you want to do?
Okay. Feeling a little bit like defended. I'm still not entirely sure how I cast spells. Like,
Yeah, like they just seem to happen.
yeah, thematically I don't do anything, but like after I see it, I'm kind of like, I guess it's like kind of drawing a cloak around yourself to cast an abjuration spell. So maybe I'll just like where my cloak would be, and I like kind of go to put my head up, and I feel like my fingers tingling a little bit, and yeah, then I take a couple of steps forward and I just slash at the thing with the sword.
All right. Nice.
Whoo, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely hit Skeletor there for 8.
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you rush forward and meet the skeleton in battle, and yeah, it brings up its. I guess these things have shields. No, it doesn't have a shield. So it brings up its rusted sword. You smash your sword against it and dig your weapon into its body, and yeah, now you're having a sword fight with a skeleton.
Cool.
And while that is happening on the skeleton's turn, the plaster above you continues to sort of like crack and crumble, and several more skeletons drop from the ceiling. These ones equipped similarly with sword and bow. Now, as they do that, as they come down from the ceiling, the plaster kind of rains down on you. Can you make a DC save, a DC 11 saving throw, a Dex save for me?
Dex.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, you're fine. So you managed to. You're in the middle of fighting this thing. It goes to slash at you. You move out of the way as a big chunk of plaster falls next to you and crashes to the floor. So these skeletons are going to attack. So the one that's facing you, the one lane you're tangled with, is going to take a swing at you, and this is with disadvantage.
Sure is.
And this spell is concentration, right? So if it hits you, you have to make a. It doesn't matter. It's two very bad rolls. So yeah. I think that you're able to defend yourself without much trouble at all from the skeleton. And then Anastasia, you're gonna get shot at by a short bow. So the one in the back falls to a crouch, stands up, shakes the plaster that's crusted around its bow, draws an ancient-looking arrow, and fires it in your direction. And gets an 11.
Yeah.
Which is not enough to hit. Yeah, you dodge out of the way, and Graveris and Oleander, you hear the arrow like clatter off the stone behind you. Kasit yelps in surprise as an arrow deflects off the wall. And then this one is going to run up and try to short sword Lane. Is that 17? Yes. Okay, 17 hits.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll take 7 damage.
Okay.
So while you're fighting with this one, another one, clatters to the ground. And yeah, I definitely imagine it like every kind of like video game animation of it's a Stalfos, like a bunch of bones on the ground that like pull themselves and they climb up each other back into skeleton form. The sword is already in its hand, and then it lunges towards you and stabs you in the back while you're fighting this other one.
Aww.
And for maintaining concentration, what is it? I think it's a Constitution save, and the difficulty is 10 plus something to do with the damage. I don't know. I never have to make Constitution.
10 or the damage.
Let me take a look at the rules. Concentration says taking damage 10 or half the damage you take, whichever is higher. Yeah, so it's DC 10. This shouldn't be too hard for you.
Rip.
Well,
famous last words. So, God just whatever God is empowering you just looks the other way when you get stabbed in the kidneys, and the skeleton disrupts your protective spell. Anastasia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Incanting in Infernal, I cast an Eldritch Blast at the arrow skeleton on the far side.
Get him.
Returning fire.
All right. Your Eldritch Blast shrieks across the room, smashing into the skeleton's bony form, dealing it 10 damage. Good stuff.
That's 3 on my screen.
Oh yeah, it's 3. Yeah.
It's force damage though. I don't know if that matters.
That's what I was checking. Yeah, no. So these, it's not force damage. Though you'd think force is just like magical bludgeoning.
It's blunt. Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. Rules.
Okay.
Okay. So you conjure up the blast, hurl it across the room, and it smashes into the skeleton, scorching its bones.
There's that bit of language that feels like everybody's ears are, crackling a little
Oh
bit.
god, that would be
Static,
awful.
that sort of like static feeling.
Do you want to move at all? Or are you good where you are?
And I'm gonna step back behind Graveris just a little.
I've done my job. Excuse me.
Just hand on shoulder as I move past Graveris, like, you go forward.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Sorry.
So it's actually Grace. It's Oleander's turn, and then you can go.
I'm just gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot it with bow.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it in the face.
I
think I can. Can I do it from here? Like, are these people in my way or?
No, your friends are never in your way.
Okay, I can shoot that. It
Must be nice.
I would advise,
not
not for
gonna
my
hit
own
it.
good, but for you.
probably.
Yeah, 7 is not sufficient. I think you fire at it, and the arrow goes like right between its empty ribs and like hits the wall behind it. Okay. Do you want to move, or you just want to stay where you are and keep firing?
I'm gonna stay at the back of the hallway. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I advance.
Graveris is on it.
Okay.
I will sneak attack this
One
skeleton.
shot this fool. That'd be great.
Oops.
Okay.
That's a sharp.
Wrong thing. Same attack roll though.
It's the same attack roll, so just keep it. Yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah.
the same damage.
Okay. Yeah, you hit it.
Yeah, I hit it for 3 plus 5, so 8 damage.
Awesome. All right. So there's just like a chain of backstabs. Now someone needs to come up and backstab Graveris. And then just run that train. Yeah, it's a conga line of getting stabbed in the back.
No one has to do that.
It's really bad when the party when party members are just like, yeah, gladly, like one of those kinds of things.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Dark.
First, I'm not sure I feel safe anymore.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
I'm supposed to be the evil one.
So, Lane, we now return to your turn. What do you want to do?
I forgot to. Not used to being a paladin yet. I had great weapon fighting for last round. Do you want to just leave it now?
Yeah, let's just leave it. Yeah.
I'll try.
Try to remember.
Following turns. I'm just going to attack the one that I attacked first time. So the
Yeah, keep laying into him with your sword.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you totally hit him.
Okay, those are 2-2, so I'm going to re-roll.
You roll the whole thing.
Perfect.
That's
So
what happened.
So what do you deal now instead?
5.
5. Okay, well it's still enough to kill it.
Okay.
So it's the worst possible swing you could get. I mean, it's hard to concentrate on the guy in front of you when there's a skeleton like with its arm kind of around your shoulder, jabbing a rusty short sword into your guts. But you managed to kind of throw that one off, take a wide swing with your sword. It cuts right through the skeleton's spine, sending its bones scattering. Whatever you hit breaks the magic, and the whole thing just crumbles to the ground. There's a sort of brassy clang as his sword hits the floor.
Cool.
Cool. All right. So Skeletor and company. Let's see here. This skeleton is gonna move over here and take cover behind this corner here. And then he's gonna fire his bow at. Let's see, who can he see? He's gonna fire his bow at Graveris. I think. Yeah. Okay. But he misses. A 12 is not enough to hit nimble Graveris.
Yeah, I just like get it with the
Just get
dragon
the
steel shield.
Get the shield up, yeah.
No, totally.
You see the little like glint of steel, and then just
Nice.
And then the one, the one that's fighting Lane and Graveris, turns around to take a swing.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
Okay, yeah, you want to try to...
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So just just the 12, like you don't even need the crit. So it turns around to attack Graveris, and then you just swing around and chop it up.
It's the same swing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, it kind of hit the other one, but that was incidental. It was actually aimed at this one.
It barely did damage against the front one. Actually.
Yeah,
It was-
totally. You just nick the first one as a wind up to the other end of the swing. Awesome. I like it. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So Anastasia, your turn.
I move so I can see. I'm moving to the room.
Okay.
I gotta look at the measurement because I know this is like a weird.
Yeah, the squares are 10 instead of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can always pick yourself up and then move to where you
Okay.
think you want to go and hit. You can hit the
Okay, I can get to like
bar.
out there. Yeah, out here, and then cast another Eldritch Blast at the archer.
Okay. All right. Now he's got cover, so his AC is a little higher. But yeah,
That's
go ahead
okay.
and do that.
Doesn't matter. You're just nailing those blasts.
24.
I
Yeah.
got a +5 on Eldritch Blast hits. Like it's not bad. 9 damage.
Nice. That's a significant hit. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you hurl the blast and just it gets right by the corner he's hiding behind. Hits him in the shoulder. Energy crackles all around his bones. He doesn't quite die. But he is staggered. Cool. All right. Oleander, I don't think you have a target from where you're standing.
They're both dead, aren't they?
No, there's definitely one up here.
The ones that I can see, I mean.
Yeah. There's
Okay,
just
then
bones all over the floor that are now indistinguishable from.
I can get to like there-ish. So I'm gonna go to there-ish, and now I can see the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at his face. I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
Okay. Y'all are rolling great. Yeah, you totally hit him, even with his improved armor class.
For 6 piercing.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. You crack his skull open. You fire a shot right into his forehead. His skull bursts out the back. Chunks of bone fly everywhere, and the body just clatters to the ground.
I look over at Oleander and give her the like yes nod. You know, like the we did it nod.
I pick one of my arrows up off the ground.
Gerveris, what would you like to do?
Are all the skeletons re-deaded?
Yes, the ones on the ground are, but they're still like Lane. There's more. There's more in the ceiling.
Okay.
Now your detection only lasts a moment though, so you don't know like where, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, the divine sense is only for an action, so there's somewhere. There's still some animated bones in the ceiling someplace.
All right. Well, I will move into the room,
Okay.
and I will ready my action to attack any skeleton that comes within my reach of.
Perfect. Okay. Lane, what are you gonna do? I assume you tell them like it's not over yet or whatever.
Yeah, like if I still have like kind of feeling at the back of my mind after they've died, I'm just like, no, there's still more.
Yeah, it's less that you feel it and more that like there should still be more of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there
We
any
still
way
have
to,
more to deal with.
check
Stay close if
there's
you
a
can.
trigger?
And I'm going to move and back up Gravaris just so I can be using Sentinel as much as possible. I will also ready an action to attack one if it reveals itself.
Okay.
Is there a way to like, if there's like a trigger to the skeletons falling down, was it like us entering the room, or like is there a way to kind of like try and figure out if there's something that's activating them, or just like wait for them to drop from the ceiling?
Yeah, you pretty much just have to like wait. Like they seem to have been waiting to drop down on you.
All right, then I'm gonna take my turn to back up.
Oh, it's not your turn yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
It was. Oh, we're still in turn order. Okay.
turn order. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just give me one quick second here, and then I'll get you to roll some saving throws because skeletons.
Oh God!
So Oleander and Anastasia, the ceiling above you like cracks and crumbles, and then all these like chunks of plaster start raining down as 3 more skeletons drop, swords ready from the ceiling. I need the 2 of you to make DC 11 dexterity saves, please.
And we don't.
Okay, you both fail. Okay, so you'll Anastasia, you take 8 damage.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Okay, and Oleander, you take 5 damage. Okay, so just like crashing down plaster and rubble from the ceiling, and then as your vision clears, it's all blurry and there's dust. You're coughing. We see the skeletons, the dark shapes of the skeletons, like rise up, and then they make attacks. So Oleander, 2 on you. Here's the first one is a hit, and the second one is a miss.
Not a hit. Yeah.
So that first short sword deals 8 damage.
I'm unconscious.
All right, so Oleander is sword, down you go. And then Anastasia, sword attack on you. 15? Is that enough to hit you?
It's enough.
Okay, so you take 4.
I'm also unconscious.
All right, so Lane and Graveris, you get all ready to fight, and then skeletons and garbage fall from the ceiling. And then Oleander and Anastasia, the sort of dust clears, and these skeletons turn with bloody swords, looking at you. Their rictus grin, almost mocking you for your inability to protect your friends, Lane. Anastasia, can you make your death save, please?
Oh, good. Yes.
Okay, that's 1. Oleander, same thing, please.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Graveris, your turn.
All right, 3 skeletons.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn undead.
Okay. All right. So I gotta make saves, right?
Yeah.
And it's what kind of save is it?
Wisdom against my DC 13.
Okay. All right. So we'll do them left to right. So leftmost Skeletor, middle Skeletor, right Skeletor. Okay, so only one of them succeeds. The other 2 are afeared of you. Let's see. What's a good fear icon here? Like a little scared face. We'll use this little skull. Okay. So you activate your turn undead, and there's the sort of deepening of shadows and the strange whispering, and the skeletons, so suddenly like stand stock still and then turn to run. 2 of them at least.
Yeah, and again, this is like I like reach out my hand and they like see it like go dark around me, and I'm just like run.
You've stolen their courage. Lane, what do you want to do? Unless Graveris, you can go ahead and move too if you want to.
Yeah, so I'll move over here and let them cower.
Okay.
And in fact, you know what? Optimal positioning is right here, so they run into the walls.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
So there's 1 remaining skeleton, and as I see the 2,
I mean, the other 2 aren't like gone. They're just afraid of Graveris. You didn't kill them or anything.
I think
They're
I need to up my
cowering.
screen brightness, but I'm just like having trouble seeing which ones are like marked with skulls and stuff.
That's true. The skulls are different. They're different shapes. There's skulls with a little circle, and there's skull and crossbones.
Right.
That's
Okay.
true.
So there's 1 here, which I'm going to have to deal with. So as my 2 companions fall, there's a fear and an anger in Lane as he steps forwards.
Smite this fool.
Yeah. I just go for the swing. And as I do, like where the 2 have fallen, there's kind of like wisps of like energy like from them. Maybe it's kind of a bit like you could envisage it as like life force or something. It like swells up around and it like coalesces around the blade. And
I don't think you want us to lend you our power. We're both horrible.
We're both pretty
It's
shitty
fine.
people.
I'm just taking like bits of your
Okay.
sort of death. I'm going to spend inspiration on this attack.
Okay, cool.
It's all right.
Great. Good
A
job.
12 or a 12. So no go on that one.
That was the worst.
Yeah, I should have waited with the description. I always do that.
No, that's the thing about mechanism first role playing games, right? And that you can do the big description, but then the roll might be like, no, that's not
mean,
what you do.
If I'd swung with inspiration, did the description, then I could have like bandied forced inspiration from the description of it because it's based on the backstory and then done it again. But
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I want to tease you for like gaming the narrative, but that's how you play. That's how it works.
Totally is.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
You role playing D&D to get inspiration to be able to do
Look,
things.
so you still epically swing your sword at it, but it's like defending and you're actually fighting. It's all that stuff that never gets described.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've moved, you've made your attack, and Skeletor gets to go. So the one, I guess these two will flee, which means Graveris, you get to attack the one that's moving away from you this way.
Yeah.
And then Lane,
No, I don't attack them though, because when they take damage, it'll stop. So
sure, but you have the opportunity
Yeah,
to
but I'm not going
make
to.
an attack of opportunity.
No, I
Okay, but
just,
you choose
like,
not to. Okay.
I'm high on my own power.
Lane, how about you? This one is afeared and running away.
Is it worth doing?
It's a free
No.
attack. It's a free attack you get this round. But then, like, it won't get to it. I guess. Okay, here's the thing. It's moving. If you damage it, I'll get to finish its turn and take an action. But if you damage it and kill it, it won't get to do shit.
No, it's
Not worth.
fine. It's gonna be fleeing for ages. If I attack it and don't kill it, that's a waste. So I'll just leave it.
Okay.
We should coordinate attacks to kill them instantly if we can.
All right. And so then the one that you're fighting now, the one you're tangling with, you maybe cast your eyes quickly over at the one fleeing, realize there's an opportunity, but you fought with Graveris before, and you're like, nope, you leave it alone. The one that's fleeing attacks you, or the one that doesn't flee attacks you with the short sword. Total miss, just embarrassing attempt at attacking you.
Embarrassing skeleton miss.
Yeah. Okay. Anastasia.
Okay, death saving throw. There you go.
Nice. Okay. All right. Then Oleander. Uh-oh. Oleander's failed 2 death saves. Someone might want to apply some healing here.
Yeah.
Everyone is
Good thing
probably
it's
like, fuck that drow.
good thing it's the cleric's turn. Guerreris, what do you want to do?
Yeah, so I move over and like, I'm like fighting the skeleton or whatever. Mostly it's just like shield up, and I reach down to Oleander and I'll just say, death does not become you, my lady. And I will heal you with the spell. Actually, no, I'm just going to cast Spare the Dying. So you're going down.
Going
You're
up,
stable.
but at 0 hit points, right?
Yeah, you're just stabilized.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Lane.
Yeah, I see Gravaris reach down and do this, and so it's my job to just kill this skeleton in front of us.
That is your job. Yes.
That's more like it.
Yeah, you hit it.
I'm absolutely going to smite it as well. So that's, let's reroll that too. Why not? So,
That's why
9
not.
damage, and then I smite for.
Every time.
I'm going to reroll those as well.
Okay.
We decided in between
We did,
sessions.
yeah. We decided that it's part of the attack. So
That's better.
There you go.
Hey, there we are.
So
Wow.
how much damage? I mean, like enough, but
21.
yeah. Okay. No problem.
We're dead.
Yeah, toast
Just
that
like
thing.
baseball swing its skull off its body and just crashes somewhere.
Sweet. Yeah, bones just fly. I think Cassie has to like bring her arms up because like chunks of bone just like fly at her.
I'm like, get back around the corner before they try and come for you. And then I'm going to move I think over here.
All right.
Oh, and I did an extra D8, but like whatever.
Right, because they're undead.
More damage than you need.
Okay. Well, the skeletons don't really get to do anything. They're just like running against the wall.
Video game stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're just like cowering against the wall, trying to get away, but they can't flee any further from Graveris. So, Anastasia, your death save, please.
All
All right, so you're stable. You got your 3. You're
Your
doing okay.
your fiend pact or whatever is like you're not dying today.
Yeah, the powers of Lorcan Cambion of the Sixth Circle keep me alive.
Yeah.
Right. What we don't see is like the conversation that your soul is having with the gatekeeper of hell. Like, no, get back out there.
You know, if I die, I can't fulfill the things you want me to do.
Yeah, some huge like 8-armed creature with like whips and spears standing outside a gate made of screaming babies is just like, nah, go back to work. We don't need you yet. All right, so Oleander, you're stable. So Graveris, it's your turn.
Yeah, so with these like weird like pooling shadows clinging to me that are scaring all the undead things, I'm gonna walk over here and sneak attack a dude.
Okay.
And I get advantage against him while he's cowering in fear of me, right?
I don't think so. He doesn't have like a specific condition. They're not frightened, right? Like all turn undead is they have to move away from you. They don't also get the frightened condition.
Okay. Well then,
Yeah, they're still immune to being.
still a sneak attack. I get a 22.
Yeah, you still hit and get to do that.
For 13 damage.
Yes, you sneak attack the shit out of the skeleton, and it becomes just bones.
So yeah, Groris just walks up behind it, and like with my shield, I just like press it against the wall, and I'm just like plunging my sword into its ribcage, like shattering
You're
it.
like wrenching like the
Yeah.
rib open.
Yeah, right. It's like stab and twist, just like break the thing apart.
Yeah, and then like jam it against the wall to break its spine.
Nice. Yeah. I imagine it being very like kind of practical or pragmatic, where you're just like doing it like you're like
Dismantling it.
yeah, taking it apart. Exactly. Not even fighting it. You're just like smashing it and twisting and like trying to like break the joints and yeah, totally. All right, Lane, you want to try and finish this thing off? And by that I mean the fight, not the skeleton. The skeleton's dead.
Yeah. I mean, is it worth me walking up there, doing a ready action for, or just like waiting until Gravaris takes his turn and is like, when Gravaris stabs skeleton, also attack skeleton?
That would be the optimal play.
It would, wouldn't it?
It is, yeah.
I go up there and I stand over it and I just like ready my sword.
Like,
like-
executioner style.
Yeah, you're like at bat. You're like.
And considering you're carrying the dead weight of me and the other level 1 character, optimal play is required.
Look, we named this group Team Optimal for a reason.
Okay.
Only the optimal play.
It definitely wasn't after Transformers at all.
Optimal Prime. So the skeleton is just scrabbling at the wall, trying to like claw its way through it to get away from Graveris. So it's not moving or really taking any other action because it's already kind of like moving in a opposite direction. So Graveris, you can move over and make your attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So again, just like pinning it to the wall with my shield, and laying into it with the short sword.
Nice.
If you finish it off again, let me mad.
I do 10 damage.
All right, no, it's still alive. You haven't fully ruined the thing. And then no, you miss, unfortunately, Lane. You take a swing at it and and it's not dead. You smash the wall. And that's when the fear breaks and it like turns itself around, like making a clattering sound, no longer afraid of Graveris.
But it's then my turn.
But now it's your turn. Yeah, you took your reaction. Now you can take your normal action.
It's 13 enough? Like, no?
13 is enough. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll just kill it. That's fine. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Toast. So you smash the thing. Bones clatter to the floor.
All right, and so I'm gonna.
Yeah, turn to Gravaris. I'm like, I'm still not used to this. It's a little heavier.
Yeah, and I just like
there's
pat you on the
this
shoulder.
deep crescent moon shaped gouge in the wall. Like a shelf. I think after the fight, like it's quiet. You turn holding your steering, like I'm still not used to this. And then the shelves you cut through all clash to the ground. Like they just fall as bones pour out all over the place. Yeah, awesome.
It's an adjustment for all of us. It's fine. And I like grab Oleander's like tunic or whatever and like lift her so she's upright and like sit her up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go do the same for Anastasia.
Are we like conscious?
No.
No, we're unconscious but not dying.
That's right. Yeah, it'll take each of you can roll a d4 unless Graveris uses magic, and it'll take that many hours for you to recover consciousness.
Okay, a d4.
Yeah. Okay, so in an hour, Oleander will wake up with 1 hit point, and then an hour after that, Anastasia will wake up with 1 hit point.
Yeah, so I've got them both like slumped against the wall. Like I've just kind of like roughly moved their bodies. So they're both like sitting next to each other and like leaning against each other so they don't fall over.
This would be the point where if you had a cell phone, you'd take a picture.
Yeah, totally.
So
I'm that kind of person.
undignified.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm going to I'll use a healing potion on one of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think my lay on hands is limited by the amount I have total. not the
You
amount
can-
of times I can use it.
The
Unlike
thing.
the
the
cleric.
thing
Oh my
Oh,
god.
sorry.
Lane on hands.
The thing about lay on hands, I played a paladin pretty recently, is you can literally just go 1, 1. You're both
Yeah.
awake now.
Yeah.
I was
Just use
just
it for
looking at that because I know the life cleric channel divinity, you only like use it once.
No,
there's
yours
not-
is just a pool
lay on hands
you
is
can
just
throw
if you
around.
have some, you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I head over to them, Gravaris, and I was like, and yeah, I'm talking to you as you're like laying them up on the wall. And I'm like, well, I've seen you do this a couple of times. I'm not sure it works the same for me, but. And I kind of like reach a hand down, and like again, where I'm seeing those kind of like wisps come off the bodies, I like twist them around and like collect them in my hands and like press them in a ball. And I like put my palm on first Anastasia's chest, like and heal her for 1 point of health.
Mm-hmm. I think when you do, her like tattoos like sort of crackle angrily. At
There's
the
like some like
There's, like-
static.
There's like a counter to the divine magic, like almost, and then as I sort of like breathe in and like wake up, there's like this slight sort of in my eyes that goes out almost immediately, and I'm conscious again. Like
yeah, and like when you take that hard breath and you like cough, you start coughing out, and like a black like a brimstone scented
there's
like
a
dust.
faint smell of
Yeah, it's
brimstone.
like, it's like black smoke comes out of your lungs. Yeah.
Overrated. Not a good place to go.
So so you're recovered. How many hit points are you giving Anastasia?
Just one,
1? Okay.
just to get him back up. I think it's better than waiting down here for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I will do the same then for Oleander.
Okay.
But I think there are words that we need to have now before things get any further. So as you wake up and you regain consciousness, I'm like crouched down in front of you.
Yep.
I guess I underestimated you.
That's one way of putting it. I don't think this needs to be a competition. I'd like to be able to trust you.
I'm not used to working in groups or trusting people.
Well, I can't exactly give you a good track record myself, but I will do everything I can to keep everybody I'm with safe. That means you as well. So if we can work together, then I'd appreciate that. And I'd like reach out a gauntleted hand to help you up.
I take it.
I think it's funny how in like fiction, also take inspiration if you don't already have it. Both you, Dave, and Oleander and Anastasia actually for your little going to hell thing if you don't already have it.
I do.
I think the thing people forget about lay on hands, because lay on hands is like considered, we often describe it in fiction as being this sort of gentle healing light thing, but actual laying on hands is like super violent. Like, have you ever seen someone do it? It's like a lot of like getting hit in the head, and like it's very intense.
Oh yeah.
It's not a like
that's what
healing hands. It's like, yeah, like he'll knock the devil out of you shit.
While you're having this conversation, by the way, with Oleander, and you like pick her up, I'm like picking myself up, and like dusting plaster off of my nice robes, and I just turn and go, no need to help me, old friend. It's me.
I mean, as far as I know, I can still trust you. So.
Oh, of course.
Awesome. All right, so you're all dusting yourselves off, getting up and recovering from your fight, and let's grab a break here, and then when we come back, we can decide if you want to take a short rest or you want to just carry on through the dungeon. Ponder that while we're on break, and we'll be right back with more Dues for the Dead when we get back. Stick around.